Hey up, how's it going? So, today we're going to the Fit Expo and I've been invited to do a bit of talking. I'm going to be talking about a few topics, so I have to sound like I know what I'm talking about. I'm excited. It's been a while since I've been to an expo, so it'll be good to catch up with people, meet new people, and of course do the talking as well. And I'm excited for that because, yeah, it's my first time ever doing something like that. Talking in a seminar style on a panel full of other athletes or other speakers and just talking about different topics and education. So that is definitely a first for me, but we love the firsts, which is cool. We've got Shelby here, the designated driver.
Hey.
How are you feeling?
Excited. It's going to be a good day.
It is, I can't wait. I'll just see you there. See you in a bit.
Bye.
Bye. I'm Jack Richardson. I'm a bodybuilder, I'm an IFBB pro, and also an online coach. And I mainly specialise in prepping people for the stage, creating bodybuilders, creating athletes. I also work with Gen Pop as well.
We will kick things off with our biggest pet peeves of the industry, and things we don't like. If you could snap your fingers, what would you get rid of?
For me, it's got to be overcomplicating training, because as good as social media is with bringing a difference of opinions and different perspectives, and obviously there's modern day studies that are about now. With that comes the paralysis of analysis, and people are unsure of what to do. With training, there are only a few absolutes. Essentially, you want to be able to train hard with whatever you're doing. You want to obviously execute it well. Obviously, if you're trying to build muscle, you want to be on the muscle, and you want to be able to recover from that, and you want to do that progressively. But outside of that, there's a large thing of preference, and a lot of people are sort of focusing on the optimalities of the 1 and 2% of what is the best training split and what is the best training style. But it doesn't matter if you don't enjoy what you're doing. And there are a lot of people going at each other's necks because, oh, you should be training like this, you should be training like that. But ultimately, if you don't enjoy what you're doing, you're not going to be applying yourself with intent consistently. And that's going to be the key driver for progress, is the consistency. It's very hard to do that if you're not training in a way that you enjoy. And I think when there is a lot of overanalyzing, people aren't leaving a lot of room to actually enjoy themselves. When I got into this 12 years ago, there wasn't as many studies about. Social media wasn't as prevalent, training wasn't as popular, fitness wasn't as popular. But I did it, and I just focused on enjoying my training really, really hard, going into the gym and thinking, how can I kill myself in the gym today? And then rinse, repeat, eat lots of food, sleep plenty, and that brought me a lot of progress. And there's a lot of people that will be so focused on the theory, but not the practical, and they will overlook the key components to actually make progress. And you'll find a lot of the criticisms, and I don't know if you guys have found this yourself, when you're posting things about training, value-based posts, that it's people who are in the first years of training who are very, very critical and telling you how to train, and they've just started. I remember a guy just the other day just telling me how to train. Turns out he was 14 years old. And I'm like, there's no way. When I first started training, there is no way that I would actually start training, tell people who've been training for a decade plus how to do what they do for a living. But that seems to be the case, and it's quite an annoying thing, because also people are afraid of criticism and they don't know how to train. They don't know if they're doing things wrong. They don't want to give things a go. And I would say that's my main pet peeve. Good chat. Yeah, it was good. So the first talk has been completed. Obviously the first time ever doing anything like that, so I think it came across well. It was super duper fun. Now, whilst we wait for the next talk, I thought I'd visit my good pal Chris, who is the owner of this awesome clothing brand Mental Strength. And also Chris is a client of mine and he's made a phenomenal transformation. I've got to put a photo on the video somewhere because it's unreal. It's absolutely unreal. And
but dedication behind you.
But I mean, he put the work in, and like the transformation I'm going to show you guys is 8 months. 8 months, and you're going to be doing a show later this year.
September, yeah. Doing the PCA, I think it is, in Telford in September.
How are you feeling for that?
Excited. I said that I wasn't caring about winning before, but now I am.
Yeah, once you give something to the process, you start bleeding for it. You know, you're like, right, I want a little bit of return with this, and it sort of motivates you. It's always more motivated to go in for the kill rather than just to take part. But we're here at Mental Strength at the Fit Expo. This is a clothing brand. The meaning behind this is something that you hold close to your heart. Would you like to go a little bit more detail into that?
Absolutely, yeah. Obviously, we're all aware that mental health is a big issue in today's society. It's a bit stigmatised. A lot of people don't talk about it, and it is known that going to the gym, being active, does help that. It really is. And I thought, over the years of going to the gym, I've suffered things like divorce, lost my brother years ago, Shannon lost a father. We've both experienced these tragic events, and I found personally that going to the gym just helped. It took the anger, sort of dulled the anger down, brought the dopamine up, brought everything feeling better, and able to still continue forwards. And on that premise, I thought, what better way to highlight that than by making a clothing brand, put it on the clothing brand with a cool logo and a cool idea and a cool name. Now, Mental Strength is about mental strength. You've got the mental strength to move forwards. But not only that though, you could have mental strength as in I'm really strong. So it's not just a sign on your back saying I've got mental health problems. It's supporting it. You've got that, so it's all encompassing. So we've got all the clothing, produced, men's and women's ranges, the whole shebang, from vests down to women's sets, and we've got a website, we're selling on there, and we're here today.
Awesome, and I think we can all agree that, obviously mental health, a lot of people who train, a lot of you guys who are probably watching will probably be training, and a large incentive to do that is for mental health. The stronger the mind, the stronger your actions are going to be. Everything starts with the mind. And this is actually one of the topics that I'll be discussing at tomorrow's panel. And to sort of celebrate this, we've done a little bit of a collab. We've merged the Imperium online clothing to rep that at the expo alongside Mental Strength, because again, there's a wonderful message behind that, and Chris is a wonderful guy. I really want to be able to represent what he does because I know he's passionate about the things that he does.
So we've got 2 t-shirts.
Okay,
I'm hoping that they fit, Jack, because you are a sizable chap.
Shall we try them on?
Yeah, let's try them on. She's got the oversized one out.
Okay.
So this one should be fine. There we see Jack in all his glory. Off season, health stage. But still looking rather sizable. And with some definition as well. Now it's the moment of truth now, whether it actually fits. And the answer is this is an oversized 2XL, and that's quite tight. So Jack, that's great. That actually looks really good, to be fair, I think.
I like it.
I think that looks good.
It fits very well.
Yeah, it does fit well. See the traps. Yeah, you're looking good, man. Really good. There you go.
Honestly, bro, thank you so much for that. The second t-shirt is going to be a surprise for tomorrow, and I'll show you guys who'll be wearing and representing that. So there's 2 cool t-shirts. You can pick yourself up any of these clothes from
www.mentalstrengthclothing.co.uk. Offers any clothing brand in the UK, so yeah, good stuff.
Awesome, mate. I appreciate that, man.
Thank you, mate.
Immensely. Check it out, Mental Strength. Had a little tour around the expo, which is quite nice. not a crazy amount of time to explore. Probably do that more so tomorrow and Sunday. It's time to do the talk, the second talk of the day with my new team. We've got my little helper here. Who are? I'm excited. This one's going to be more bodybuilding. Where does bodybuilding fit in fitness? It's going to be a panel full of the meatheads, full of the bodybuilders. So, without further ado, let's go.
How has the perception of bodybuilding changed in recent years?
Nowadays, I think people will see a photo, it's like Ryan said, they will see the end results, and I'll have guys come up to me and they want to be coached, and their expectations are crazy, because bodybuilding is, and it will always be, a game of patience, and it is a long-term thing. And you'll have kids who are like 18 years old going, I want to be pro in a couple of years. And I'm like, okay, unless you have phenomenal genetics, it's going to be unlikely. And if you don't get it in a couple of years, what are you going to do? And I do think it is getting more watered down. And you've got, again, bodybuilding has not changed what is required. You've got a lot of softer people trying to do it, and when they actually give it a go, like, oh, I don't want to do the thing, and they're trying to constantly find hacks and easy way out to make the process easier, rather than going, right, this is hard, I'm up for the challenge, I'm up for doing this for years consistently. It's like, oh, I want this right now, and you can't get this instant gratification. And that's what's going to come along with social media. And again, you know, there's a completely different vibe now to how it was years ago, and a different type of demographic, but that won't change the fact that the people who make it to the top, they've got to be passionate for it, because they're the ones that will survive it long enough by being passionate with the process to actually get there. So that is the talk finished, and I'm watching a scrap. There's a scrap about to go off.
Right, receive both these girls. They're still waiting to that for us right here, right now.
I'm not gonna lie, I feel intimidated. This is what I love, is just seeing other sports. Like, I've never seen female kickboxing live. There we go. And this is the benefit of an expo, isn't it? Okay, so we are day 2 of the expo. We stayed over at an Airbnb. For me, it's Airbnbs all day over hotels. Especially for bodybuilders, Airbnbs are a must. To be honest, it's not too much difference in price from a hotel. You get a kitchen as well. Traveling, Airbnbs are going to be the way, because then you won't have a reason to not meal prep. And this is like a nice little studio apartment. Like I say, very similar to a hotel, except from it's got a kitchen. And I think this was like, how much was it? £60, which again, you're going to be paying that, roughly that, for a hotel. Well, I am excited. The second collaborated t-shirt with Imperium and Mental Strength out, and give it a good try out. Dun. Today's topic, we're going to be discussing about mental strength within fitness. It's quite relevant. I wear this particular t-shirt. Hits the nail on the head. So this is a 2XL. The other one was an oversized, but this is just a standard 2XL. Usually I'm like a 3XL, 3 to 4 for a little bit of a baggy fit. Oh God. I can tell it's tight on the titties. There we go. Wow. Feels like a compression t-shirt. Don't mind me, I'm just flexing. It's pretty cool, isn't it? I don't usually wear tight t-shirts, but I like this one. It's quite nice. So essentially we spend the morning just food prepping, just getting ready for the second day, doing all the bodybuilding, box ticking. A lovely first breakfast. First breakfast. What about second breakfast? First meal for breakfast. courtesy of the sherbet, Shelby. And we've got bagels, 3 bagels. It's supposed to be 6 eggs, but every single egg was a double yolker, so it's more like 12 eggs. And a nice little brew. So we're gonna be getting some food in, get some more food ready. Then we'll be ready to hit the expo again. This is probably the first arm wrestling match I've ever seen. Nice. I didn't even know arm wrestling was here. It seems to be getting popular, more and more popular. You wouldn't capture me arm wrestling. I would break my arm. That's just literally a recipe for injury. You wouldn't catch me arm wrestling. I don't think I've seen an official match. You usually just see this like with your mates or in a pub. Well, those are 80 kilo stones. I don't know if any of you guys have tried to lift a stone before. They're very awkward to lift. Those girls, strong as fuck. It takes technique. Obviously a great amount of strength as well. A lot of strongman is that combination. Just picking up awkward shit with good technique, being strong at it. I think to really appreciate it, I think give it a go. Try to lift a stone. You'll see it's harder than you might think. Calisthenics, a lot of body weight strength, again technique, but also it's going to be very, very hard if you're quite a heavy individual. I'm quite a heavy individual. I wouldn't be amazing at this shit. Okay, let's put it lightly, I'd probably be quite shit. As a bodybuilder, people will ask me what my max squat, bench, deadlift is. And ironically, I don't do any of these things. At some point in time I did, but I don't. It's those guys, the powerlifters, they're the ones you want to be asking. As a bodybuilding, muscle focused, powerlifters focus on those 3 lifts, being as strong as fucking possible. People who do some hard shit with the body. That's the gist I'm getting out of this. This is purely a test of endurance. There's going to be a lot of physicality in this, but at the end of it, you're going to be fucked. And it's those last few reps. For a challenge like this, it's just doing a bunch of hard shit with your body and see who can do the most. And obviously, there's going to be a lot of physical fitness and strength involved, but it's a lot of mentality. At the end of it, all these guys are fucked, and you'll see it's actually the ones who have it up here, they're actually finished strong. CrossFit. I remember when people used to bully CrossFit. It's okay. Not my thing. These look phenomenal and I'm absolutely going to grab one. Treat myself. I've been a good boy lately. We've gone for white Reese's. Never tried white Reese's. And I'm a bit partial to a cookie from Cookie Dealer. And yes, I'm saying cookie. I'm from Stoke. I need to get a grip now, okay? Luke Cookbook. That's how I say shit. Right? It's the right way to say it. Everyone else in the world is wrong. Anyway, moving on. I can't open this. Big ball of dense. It looks small, but I've had these before, right? They're so fucking dense. good amount of filling now. So you've got the Reese's there, and white chocolate around it, and then I think you've got little Reese's pieces on top. This is good. I would be interested to see what this is like warm. I feel dopamine being released right now. I can't help but smile. I could definitely eat this all in one go. Would you like some?
Oh my god.
What do you think?
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. Initially I was gonna not eat all this in one go, but I'm not gonna listen to what I was going to do. I'm gonna that's in the past. I'm gonna chow this down and we're gonna look at some more expo things.
An obvious question to open up with is, what does mental strength mean to you?
I think mental strength encompasses essentially having true control of your mental health and your whole mentality, allowing that to seep into the actions that you take, because everything starts with the mindset. And a lot of people, you know, you are pretty much automatically prone, if you let your mind run free, that you're not going to have a very good control of the outcomes of your life. And mental strength is being able to not essentially fall victim to how you feel in the short term, but be able to invest in the long term and to know what is needed to do to get the things done so you can achieve the goals that you need to achieve. And mental strength essentially is being able to connect your mind with your body and get it to work as one. And you know, that comes from being able to be mentally resilient, but also be self-aware and be objective with yourself, and being able to essentially balance yourself, because it's very easy to tip one way or another. And essentially this comes from checking your ego. I mean, the ego is essentially your sense of identity. So if you're balanced too much with being harsh on yourself, again, this is important to be constructively critical of yourself, so you know where to improve, where to be a stronger person, and what you need to do to obviously work on yourself and your own character. But too much of that, you're going to hold yourself back. Same could be the other end of the spectrum. If you're just telling yourself everything's great, you're in denial about any flaws that you do have, again, that is not mental strength, that's a sign of mental weakness, because you're susceptible to become blinded and arrogant. And again, once you balance yourself, you're aware of your flaws, but you're also aware of your potential, and you have enough self-belief. That is the perfect balance for mental strength, because then you're able to overcome the obstacles. You know how to improve, and you're confident enough to be able to overcome those obstacles and to actually go and get it, and you won't talk yourself out of it. And the best way to acquire mental strength is doing the thing and being backed by the reality of your actions. And that's how you overcome things like low self-esteem, insecurity, or imposter syndrome, is doing the thing and proving to yourself that you can. And mental strength doesn't come from being strong all the time. This doesn't come from, you know, people aren't just born courageous and they're fearless for everything. It's feeling the fear of doing something and the anxiety and facing it and overcoming it. And on the other side, you're going to be getting stronger. It's not about not being scared of things or not about doing the things that you don't know if it's going to work out. It's just doing it and build a resilience and being backed by the reality of your actions that you can do it and you were successful in that thing, to actually build that mental strength.
Content. You went up against Seba.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jesus.
Yeah, that was an opportunity of a lifetime. It was a good experience. I loved it. And you know what? That guy, I'm very glad I met him, and because he's at the top of the game. Like, there was different levels of fame. Obviously, big names were entering that show, and then there was him. He had to be escorted in the show. And this doesn't happen all the time, and you guys have probably experienced this, but when I met him, he was exactly how he comes across, very modest, and also very balanced, very, very composed. So he knew how to be respectful, how to be humble, super duper humble, but he knew also when it was game time to apply like, this is a guy with his ego in check. Yeah, for sure. So he knew when to switch it on, and also when the ego wasn't required as well. So
I'm glad you do hear of people that aren't. It's just a front, and that aren't who they say they are and stuff like that. Yeah,
like this is what impresses me about C-Bomb is obviously his physique, great, but also the character, the mentality that he does have. Because there's a lot of people who reach the top of the game in any particular sport and they will lose themselves. It's very, it's not often that you will see that people will actually become better when they reach success. There's usually a trade-off that really results in narcissism, some sort of arrogance, or looking down on people because potentially they got into it through insecurity. It's like, I feel like I'm a lesser person than that person, now I feel better, I'm looking down. But actually obtaining success and being able to hold on to those characteristics of humility, if not improve on them, that's true success. It's not a trade-off.
So that is Fit Expo, the Talks of the Education Hub, wrapped up. And it was a good time. It's been a while, like I say, since I've been to Fit Expo, and plenty of talking, plenty of meeting new people, plenty of catching up with people. The wind was kicking off, so I was just going to finish it in the car, but I really like just seeing a variety of sports that I wouldn't usually watch. I've just seen them at a competitive level. And just how easy it is to just go, right, cool, arm wrestling, I had enough of that. Let's see some fucking kickboxing, let's see some powerlifting, let's see some CrossFit, let's see some calisthenics. But the talks, again, the main highlight for me, just because I like talking a lot. And to be able to talk about things that I was passionate about and that was well received was a very awesome experience. All the topics that were covered were awesome, but probably the highlight was the last one, just talking about the mental resilience, because that's a topic that I could be quite passionate about. Just mentality, mindset, that type of shit. I could get really philosophical with that. What I love doing is new shit, stuff that I know is going to sort of put me in an environment to grow. I think this weekend allowed for all of that, so I'm pretty happy with it. If you liked the video, please like, comment, subscribe, or else I will lose 3 testicles. It's not good because I don't have 3 to spare. I mean, ideally I don't really have one, but we don't even want to cross that bridge. So like, comment, subscribe, man. Till next time, peace, too easy, all that shit. Biatch.